Are you living intentionally or just going through the motions? That's our topic for today. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 221 of our Supersize You annual challenge. And today we are looking at focusing and paying attention to, as we are all this month, the spiritual area and aspect of our life. Remember, we've got 9 life framework areas: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And each month we focus in on one. And it's spirituality this month's turn. And so that's what we're looking in on and focusing in on. And today's topic is all about intention. I don't know about you, but I have spent a lot of time not living intentionally, meaning just going through the motions of my life, running through my life like a chicken with my head cut off, I say. I used to say that all the time. I say it less now because I try to be a bit more intentional. For example, this morning, I stayed up way too late last night. I was super tired. So instead of getting up when my alarm went off at 4 o'clock, I said, nope, I am intentionally sleeping in and getting the rest I need so that I can show up for the rest of my day without bags under my eyes and feeling absolutely drained before I even begin. So I slept in and I did it intentionally. I started to hear that self-talk. Oh, you're so behind, you're so late. And I'm like, no. I did it on purpose. I chose to sleep in. And if I'm choosing something, that means I'm doing it with intention. And I'm not just being, blown in whichever direction the wind happens to be blowing that day. So today we want to think about intention. Most people live on autopilot. I admit, and it's kind of hard to admit, but I would say there were whole decades of my life where I lived on autopilot. When I was running my Italian food manufacturing business, raising my kids, working in corporate America, and traveling a lot, I just kept the next step. What's the next step? Put my next foot in front of the other and just kept moving forward. And did that for probably 20 years. And then I realized one day, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Why am I doing this? And I lost sight of why I was here, what I really wanted to accomplish in my life. And that's when I actually had that epiphany and aha moment. I started to change things and consciously choose what was and wasn't for me, what I would and would not say yes to. And it got to be so much easier. It actually ended up that living intentionally, choosing for yourself, it makes a huge difference in our lives and in our world. Intentional living, deciding how you want to live and actually making decisions based on that, and aligning our actions to that, it actually simplifies our life. It helps us know what relationships we should be in. It helps us know what we should do in our daily activities, what we should and shouldn't take action on. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that just because an idea pops into my head doesn't mean I should take immediate action on it. Unless, of course, it's an awesome idea, and then I should. But I need to discern between those two versus just whatever comes our way, we're going with the wind. We're like that leaf flowing in the wind in the fall in Wisconsin, because that's where I live, and it gets blown every which way. It reminds me of those little helicopters. Those little helicopters that fall out of trees in the springtime. You'll go outside and it looks like it's raining. They're so cool. All right, so what are we going to do with this? In addition to this, we're going to have 2 action items today. We're going to set an intention for the day, and we're going to share it in the comments below. It can be about anything. Maybe it's just, I'm going to have an awesome day. I'm going to actually spend 2 hours flowing with my grandkids, whatever it might be. Set an intention for the day and then share it in the comments below so we can hold one another accountable. Are we going to beat each other up? No, we're going to actually hold ourselves accountable and come back if we are wise and share, this is what my intention was. And guess what? I got about 40% of the way to it. Or I absolutely positively did that thing that I intended to do today. I am committing right now to doing the thing I'm going to do today. And I've already got a whole list of things I intend to do today and actions I intend to take. So that is our main topic for today as part of this year's challenge. Now, I also want to say we should jump into what's one of my favorite frameworks, the SOAP framework, and start thinking about what is an area of spirituality that you feel is a challenge for you. I used to use the SOAP framework and teach it usually once a month or more, depending on what's going on, for either goals that we want to achieve, and it works great for that, or for problems that we want to deal with, challenges. And I like to call them challenges instead of problems, because guess what? We are always going to have a problem in our life. There's always going to be something that isn't exactly how we think it should be yet. And we have to decide, how are we going to deal with that? Are we going to think of it as a problem and an overwhelming, hard to deal with thing? Or are we going to intend to say, I got this. I know what to do. I'm going to soap that baby up and it's going to be solved and improving before I can even imagine it happens so fast. It's part of why we talk about the SOAP framework every month. I want you to install it in your subconscious like I have. So now every day, and let's be honest, if you're living your life, every day stuff comes up that you could consider a challenge or an obstacle or a setback or a problem or a pain in the A, up to you what you want to call it. And if you have a process that automatically kicks in and goes through the motions on a subconscious level before you even have to consciously think about it, guess what? 90+% of your problems and obstacles and challenges automatically get dealt with, and you don't actually have to waste your conscious bandwidth dealing with them. The other 10%, guess what? They're big enough you got to think about them, so then you consciously use this process. You get out a scrap of paper and you say, okay, S, step 1, story, situation, what's going on? What is the current situation? And you write a couple of sentences or a paragraph about that. What is my desired situation? What do I really want to happen? Current situation, I am running through my life and not intentionally choosing anything. I'm just dealing with whatever comes at me. Desired intention, desired story, desired situation. I want to set an intention every day for the next 7 days and see if that makes a difference and gives me better results than what I've been doing. That's a very foggy, but it's pretty clear intention. So current story, desired story. Action item for that today. You don't have to share it, but you do have to write it down. I don't care where you write it down. I don't care if you're like me and you write it on a million Post-it notes or in a book. I always, of course, recommend that we have our own book dedicated to the challenge, right? The annual challenge. I'm actually on my second one for this year, and this is what it looks like because I don't have it set up properly yet. Maybe that's my intention today, set my challenge book up properly. I'll add that to the list. All right, so just to recap, set an intention, share it in the comments below, discuss and make a paragraph and write it down about your current and your desired situation or story that you're telling yourself for an area of spirituality that you want to improve. I don't know what mine's going to be yet. I haven't decided. I will decide and I will write it down. I promise. I intend to write it down. I intend to decide. All right. Any questions about this? Hit me up and ask. Believe me, I have like thousands of stories I could tell about intention and intention setting and when I didn't and did do it and the differences that it made in my life. If you need to hear some more of those stories to help you decide, just hit me up and ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.